If you ask me what actually makes a game take off, then it has to be, of course, the players, the consumers, the community. Now, that is not to say that the quality of the game has no impact. Of course, it's what drives the initial release. The overall feel and the level of experience is the whole point, and that is what makes us players. But even if what happens to the players is decided by the game, what happens in the long run is arguably decided by the community. The level of influence that a community holds is arbitrary, so let's just say that a community is not everything, but it does help a lot. Think of it like skydiving. A parachute is not required, but it does help out a lot. In my opinion, that is what defines the upcoming game Zenless Zone Zero from other games. Okay, that is a really big leap, so let me explain. The genre of Zenless is a really far stretch from its siblings when you think about it. The other games are story-driven immersive experiences with a side of daily and/or weekly missions to keep you playing. Meanwhile, Zenless being a roguelite focuses more on its gameplay with some story and dailies on the side. This opens up the opportunity of infinite replayability for the game. With infinite replayability comes a more stable player base and thus community. From here, I'm pretty sure you know where this is going. Think about it. What makes a profitable esport? Based on my observation, it is one that can sustain a large amount of viewership because the main profit source of esports is the sponsorships, and nobody wants to sponsor a scene that nobody wants to watch. I have no experience nor extensive theoretical study about any esports scene, but I think a good idea would definitely be about a game that people would get even if they don't actually play the game. I'm guessing this is also the reason why devs like to overload the screen with info, because viewership can affect numbers too. Anyway, point is, viewership, even in a non-esport context, can directly affect community well-being, even if they aren't current players. With this in mind, Zenless stands out among his siblings as different, because one of the problems of Genshin and the two Honkais was that their content scene was kind of restricted to guides and info updates. Zenless being a game with infinite replayability can have people streaming for hours on end, and the content scene will generally be more healthy. Case in point, The Binding of Isaac, Gunfire Reborn, Deep Rock Galactic, The Risk of Rains, and literally every esport game ever. However, just because Zenless is different does not mean it's better. Of course, we still have to take into account the target audience. We yet to know how many people will actually play this game because a lot of people didn't actually like TV parts of the game. The main issue is not actually with the game, but with the players. It was just that they aren't the target audience. The TV part is a fundamental aspect of the game, so it's not likely to be adjusted or removed. For those who want this removed, I suggest you just read the title. It's not Genshin, it's not Honkai, it's not whatever, it's Zenless Zone Zero. I suggest you try to experience the game with a blank slate in mind and not compare it to its siblings because it's different. If the TV is a deal breaker for you, then the game isn't for you. Simple as that. Anyway, because of this, it's safe to say that players of other Hoyo games won't automatically play this game just because it's Hoyo. It will cater to a different community from the other games. But of course, content scenes born from replayability is not the only thing that matters for a community. For example, Hollow Knight and the Soul series have big thriving communities despite having a set amount of content to explore. All I'm saying is that replayability is good for a game in more ways than one. So an infinitely replayable game has a bright future given that it's actually a good game, of course. So to sum it all up, Zenless can potentially become the most popular Hoyo game yet because of the nature of the game. However, this caters to a different audience and that's where the uncertainty lies. But what about you? Do you think you're the target audience for this game? I, for one, am sure I will love this game already. I mean, just look at this epic combo.
Recharge.